right, we in there. Kahalo Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. I am not a member of Great Millstone, yet I have entered into their labors. Peace, mercy, and blessings to the sincere Akim and Akwaf who are listening and learning, or maybe out there preaching and teaching, whatever you're doing, whatever your walk is. Barakatah. So this is literally going to be quick. I just wanted to show brothers something to look for, to look up. Um, so I don't know, through the spirit, I'll probably title this Hellenization Then and Now, because we know, just look up GMS reincarnation and get that understanding. But the same devils that were then are now, because you know what? I don't know off the top of my head, so we're gonna have to do it this way, uh, through the third and fourth generation. Let's see. Mm-hmm. That's the generational curses. Now, to a Christian, it would sound like a contradiction because there's another scripture that says that the sons will not pay for the sins of the fathers, right? But that's why we need to unlearn everything Christianity has ever put in you quickly, because time's running out. I don't like any of these. Okay, I'm gonna just get it from here before I move on into, uh, you know what? I'm gonna just have to, use my phone because my computer's slow. What did it say? Here we go. Because it wasn't Deuteronomy 5 and 9. Bear with me. Just bear with me. Let's see. But I do want to get that though. I want to bring that out. Whenever you're ready to load, come on. Hold tight. Here we go. It's Numbers 14 and 18. I had to pull it up on my phone because my computer's too slow. So the Lord is slow to anger and abundant in steadfast love, forgiving iniquity and transgression, but he will by no means clear the guilty, visiting the iniquity of the fathers on the children to the third and fourth generation, because you come back in your lot in the third and fourth generation. You may not be the man, like if I die today and I come back in the third and fourth generation, so to speak. Hopefully, we don't come back and we in an old another captivity. But that ain't the truth. All right, so just for example, if I die today and I come back in the third or the fourth generation, I would not be the man that I am right now, but the spirit still remains. But that's another lesson for another day. You can look up GMS, reincarnation, or anything like that, and it'll edify you. And the beauty of it is, what is it? It's in Psalms. I know it's in Psalms, but no, no. You know what? Let me just keep moving. I'm gonna just stick to the point. So, who is this bastard here? Richard Henry Pratt. Brigadier General Richard Henry Pratt was an American general who is best known as the founder and longtime superintendent of the influential Carlisle Indian Industrial School at Carlisle, Pennsylvania. His most famous quote right here: "Kill the Indian and save the man." So basically, these schools were to reform the Northern Kingdom, basically to say, that they were savages because they didn't act like a devil, and teach them to be more, well, for Hellenized, so to speak. So let's see. All right, so this resource includes a full text from Captain. Well, this was when he was a captain. Richard H. Pratt, "Kill the Indian and Save the Man." Speech delivered in 1892 from History Matters and George Mason University. Okay, no, this ain't what we looking for. Forgive me, I just kind of went out raw with this. So we're going to click links and go through some things, and you can kind of copy these down, or you can look at them yourself. Uh, uh, and then we'll look up the influential Carlisle School, Carlisle Industrial. Goodness, come on. Yeah, we don't care about that or that. Okay, after the Indian War subsided, okay, concluded a state war cannot exist between nations and its wars, therefore the prisoners would be sent as prisoners of war of permanent imprisonment at Fort Marion. Okay, Pratt was chosen to lead the prisoners because he had much experience with the Indians. And then the word Indian is it doesn't, to better suit it, Indian would describe Esau better because it translates to savage. So it would describe them better than it would our brothers, our Northern Kingdom brothers and sisters. Okay, let's skip through and see, read some of this other stuff. Okay, he introduced classes in the English language, art, guard duty, craftsmanship to several dozen prisoners who had been chosen from among those who had surrendered. Okay, all right, here we go. And on November 1st, 1879, he founded the Carlisle Indian Industrial School at Carlisle, Pennsylvania. First of many non-reservation boarding schools for Native Americans. So this was, uh, here's your blueprint. I'll probably click that in a second. Innovation. Okay, he developed compulsory education paradigms that will be used in many different demographic minorities. Ain't that a bit? We're the minorities. Okay, that's see you, and you see the pride of this devil in the United States and its territories, including African Americans, Puerto Ricans, so-called Mexicans, so-called Latinos, so-called. All right, he took a okay. From the Puritans. So look up kind of how what the Puritans did, and the influence that they had on. It wasn't good, but the influence that they, or the way they did things. Look that up. Cultural assimilation. All right. Practice of Americanization of Native Americans. So let's get this straight. You come, and of course, this is all according to prophecy. But the beauty is nobody gets away, as we read in uh, that first scripture I read in Numbers about the guilty shall not, the guilty won't go unpunished. So you come over here in a land that doesn't belong to you and then tell the people that their way is not. That's like me walking into your house, wiping my feet on your floor and sitting on your couch and telling you that we need to rearrange this and you need to put this over there. You need to cook this and do that. Like I'm gonna tell you what to do in your own house. It's crazy, man. But we understand that all of this is according to prophecy. And if you look up Baruch 4 and 6, I mean, it says that we were sold into the nations because of disobedience, not for our destruction. Roughly paraphrase. Okay, was later regarded as some form of cultural genocide, which it was, because although our brothers and sisters were going off, some did somewhat maintain that way, the way of old. But it was beaten out of uh, the southern kingdom, and as you see, and it was also done out of the northern kingdom as well. But this was just another way, and according to prophecy, because you're supposed to forget who they were. That's why I think it's in Ezekiel. It says, "In the land of their captivity, they shall remember themselves." So all of this was necessary. It was disgusting and it was ugly, but it was for the sake of prophecy. Okay, he believed that to claim their rightful place as American citizens, Native Americans needed to renounce their tribal way of life, convert to Christianity, abandon their reservations, and seek education and employment among the best classes. Do you? I'm gonna just keep reading. Of Americans. In his writing, he describes his beliefs that government must kill the Indian to save the man. Pratt was outspoken and a leading member of what's called Friends of the Indians movement at the end of the 19th century. So there's something else for you to look into. He believed in the noble cause of civilizing Native Americans. He said the Indians need the chances of participation you have had, and they will just as easily become useful citizens. Now, fast forward to now when this beast has perfected, or when this whore is in her perfection, and they were given the fatness of the earth according to Genesis. So, again, all of this is according to prophecy. So, they were given the fatness of the earth, they were in charge of everything. And look at the state of the world. Look at your water. Look at how the ecosystem is destroyed. There are so many different things that are out of whack. You pull animals that are meant to clean the ocean and you feed them to people. You make it a delicacy. Man, look at all I got to say is you are going to reverse everything that you've done wrong in this world, and the time is drawing near. Rock the Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. They're clean contrary to the scriptures, they're clean contrary to our way. And the pride is the one thing that's just, and that's his mark right there, the pride. There's none more proud than Esau Edom. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, look that scripture up. Nevertheless, Pratt's approach was distinct for the time, inasmuch as he regarded Native Americans as being worthy of respect and help. Hold on. Matter of fact, let's just get that one real quick. So it's Obadiah 1 and 4. Hold on, let me go to it. I'd rather just go to it. Let's find it. But I'm going to do it on my phone because the computer will sit there and think and think. Alright, so Obadiah 1 and 4. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? That's verse 3. Verse 4. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thyself amongst the stars, thence I will bring thee down, saith the Lord. And them setting themselves amongst the stars I guess it's the prophecies about right now, how they, send these space stations and things like that. They're trying to get up there. But the point I'm making is how they exalt themselves like an eagle. The eagle is the highest flying bird. Okay, let's contemporaries. Okay, can never be lifted in a mainstream American society. It's difficult to estimate the hundreds of Indians trained in his school who were robbed of their cultural identities in the name of assimilation. Pratt preached assimilation in a day marked by rank segregation. Okay, see, they can't just leave you alone. It ain't in them. You see, Yahweh Bashim outside, he created the perfect devil. And although he's going off, he's in his lot, and he's not. He's going off, but he ain't going off at the same time. This devil's in his lot. But if you read the book of Maccabees, you can see. So Alexander the Great, or Greek, was the first to start this thing about getting everybody to be into the whole Greek culture. However, he didn't push it. He kind of left us alone. But if you read through Maccabees, first and second Maccabees, I suggest you just read it and take it all in. There's some beautiful things in there, and there's some ugly things that'll make you upset, that will really piss you off. But it's the same way. Like if you read, I'll just get straight to the point. Now, I'm only using this as an example because, again, um, in that time, the Northern Kingdom, for the most part, was going off. But I'm just honing in on the assimilation piece or the hellenization piece. So, okay, we can just start from the top. Not long after this, the king and the old man of Athens to compel the Jews to depart from the law of their fathers and not live after the law of God or a law of Yahweh, and to pollute also the temple in Jerusalem and to call the temple of Jupiter Olympus. You see that? See, it's the same thing, man. And that in Garrison of Jupiter, the defender of strangers, as they did desire that dwelt in the place, because it's palatable. You see, our way isn't palatable for everybody, but it's not for everybody. It is only for the sons of Jacob. The coming in of this mischief was sore and grievous to the people. Verse 4, for the temple was filled with riot and reveling by the Gentiles, and these are natural Gentiles. These are not the Gentiles that we read about in the New Testament, because those were just Israelite foreigners. They were scattered, and the Apocrypha explains that. This Hellenization explains that they were scattered, and now that they're coming back, now that they came back in the New Testament, those who were about the law were like, nah, you you put out. According to the law, you can't do this, you can't do that. You didn't keep the Sabbath. You are out. So that was the big fuss that, they were bringing them in. And the dude and some of the Pharisees and Sadducees that were boasting in the law knew or felt that, that this is something that shouldn't be. But, again, another story, another day. Verse 4, for the temple was filled with riot and reveling by the Gentiles who dallied with harlots and had to do with women with the circuit of the holy places. And besides that, brought into things that were not lawful. The altar was also filled with profane things, which the law forbiddeth. Neither was it lawful for a man to keep the Sabbath day, or ancient fast, or profess himself at all to be, it says Jew, but we understand it's Israelite. They just called them Jews because they couldn't tell the difference between uh, a Benjamite or a Levite or a Judite. Okay, so you can read this as well. What is it? Second Maccabees 6. Um, you can read that on your own, but I just wanted to bring this out really quick. You can look into this person and kind of click on some of these links and expand your understanding, and link these things to scripture to see how, um, this devil doesn't have anything new. There's no new tricks under his book, under his belt. They have a formula and they stick to that formula. So, with that being said, I hope you were edified. Kwam Yasharala, Baba Ba.